Hello everyone and welcome back to some more action from the League of Dracula. This is a Group A match between Deadmeat1471 playing as the Hunters and Rossco74 playing as Dracula. And there's some hired scouts. Apologies, I should have cleared my throat before the recording started, never mind. So yep, let's see where Deadmeat throws down these hired scouts. Interesting start here with Gadamig and Mina sort of more central. So definitely leaving this western portion more open, but then if there are fast horses, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, Bucharest and Athens were not there. Valona would be a better shout, maybe, because Drac might move to Athens, because you want that first encounter in Athens, so that's a better one to check, but never mind, that's okay. There's no guarantee that Dracula is in the east of the map anyway, so yeah. This is a match from game week 4. These two players haven't played each other yet, so this is the first encounter. They play again in game week 7, the final game week, and yeah, slightly differing fortunes at the moment. I think Rossco has won 3 out of 4 games, whereas Deadmeat has won... Ooh, I should have checked this before the recording started. 1 out of 4, I think. But it doesn't matter, really. Games can be a little bit unpredictable, and at the same time, play like Deadmeat, for example, who is not, at least before the tournament started, was not a regular in the Discord community. They're just going to keep getting better with every single game that passes. So there are no easy games in this tournament at all. So we shall see. And okay, that's pretty important to know that there's no Spanish start going on. I've seen Mina's got a blood transfusion and garlic reef, so not the best start for her. Is what it is. Yeah, so we'll see if Deadmeat's been able to pick up some hunter strategies from their previous matches and put to good use here against Rossco, who's obviously, on the other hand, a very experienced player with this game. Just the early stages of this match, just normal stuff, misdirecting first location because there's no encounter, no rumour token yet from Rossco, but might not be a vampire, might be something else, or might put the rumour token down later. We shall see. In fact, there's a waiting screen here. Could be Renewed Vigor, could be Speed Telegraph. Yeah. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I really like holding Renewed Vigor until later, when you actually can use it to try and stop something really vital from maturing because you're too far away and you need the extra move, or because you're going to be able to jump onto Dracula's space. I'm not a fan of Renewed Vigor being played early, but that is just me. So you've got to make use of it here, but the problem is that early on, you can't supply twice. So you're just going to supply and then move, I guess, or supply and get a ticket. That's the only way you can really use Renewed Vigor early. It's not like later in the game where you might have more options. You know, you might be using it to supply and then move. or you can move and then search something during the day, so you're not wasting night actions to do it. That's a good card though. Riversmith is a nice ally to get. I thought because the Renewed Vigor would be played, maybe Godalming. Godalming would move up with Mina and Psychic Bond. But Godalming's now moved away. I'm not sure why Seward's moving here, because local rumors in Madrid ruled out all of this. So I would personally advise all Hunter players not use Renewed Vigor early. If you want to use Renewed Vigor because there's like a rumor token that's about to mature, like say in the first week, and you know with Renewed Vigor you can get to it and stop it, then by all means, that is a justifiable use of Renewed Vigor. But here, because of the hunters all supplied, then what other action they're going to take? You either take a ticket, or you trade, or you move. And the problem is now, if Godalming and Mina are moving this way, if Dracula is anywhere in the east of the map, then it's just making it even more difficult for the hunters to catch those first encounters. So I would advise against doing that. But it's good from Dracula's perspective, because that's a really, really, really powerful card that's now being used. Hopefully it wasn't a misclick. Hopefully it was actually a deliberate use, because you feel really bad if you misclick it. Yeah. I'm actually going to do a video very soon talking about Hunter events and ranking them. And spoiler alert, Renewed Vigor is pretty close to the top. I mean, you never know, like the hunters could get a newspaper reports today, and they'll, depending on how much movement they've got, they'll be able to catch this rumor token. So, but still, just having that rumor token, not rumor token, the Renewed Vigor still in their hand is very important. You don't have to accept cards, but there's always a prompt every dawn for if you have a Renewed Vigor, there'll be a prompt every dawn for it. But you can just click X and say, no, I don't want it. Okay, no newspaper. There's a pistol though. Quite a few Dracula events so far in the deck. So if there was a hoax, that'd be good for Dracula, but it looks like it's a vampire. You see, like, Godalming's moved back to Milan and Seward's moved back to Madrid, so that's 2 day actions essentially wasted by moving when there wasn't a need to. And like Van Helsing is moving off, assuming that Drac's not in the UK. I mean, it can't be Ireland because of all this. Highly unlikely is in the UK, but could have been. You don't normally move Van Helsing off the UK until you know for certain it's not the UK. Oh, I wouldn't Psychic Bond during the day either. Oh, yeah. Supply. You could do Psychic Bond at night, and it would give you the same amount of time, really. Apologies. I don't want to be so critical. That's not fair. I'm commentating. I shouldn't be criticizing, but there is a lot of things as the hunters that you have to think about. There's a lot of different actions that you can do. But the safe one is just supply, 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 supply. Especially in the early game, because towards the end of the game, because you're having to chase Dracula and do lots of stuff with encounters or whatever, you might not have time to supply. So taking advantage of the first week as much as you can to supply to get all those good items and to get as many good events as possible just makes your life so much easier. Things like Psychic Bond you could do at night, because if there was no plan to do any sort of if Mina has the tickets that the hunters want, that's absolutely fine. Don't have to do tickets. But then Psychic Bond at night then. Could have supplied during the day and then just a Psychic Bond at night, because you'd get the same amount of essentially information and it wouldn't buy you any more time. Okay, not in Germany, but could have started in Germany. This is the only problem with Psychic Bond. It only tells you Dracula's current location. It doesn't tell you where this rumor token is. When you have the hunters, there's a lot to juggle. So just making your life a little bit easier by supplying as much as can to get those powerful events that you can use later on is just the way to go. You know, I can see why, because obviously, like, I think when you buy the actual physical board game, there is something in there when they have like the hints for new players. I think one of the hints is, oh right, hunters should be moving during the day. I do realize as a hunter player it's quite easy to get a bit impatient and say, oh, I can only move during the day, let's start moving around and doing stuff. But it's just better than night supply. I mean, Deadmeat's not night supplying here, so that's good. There's no events going to Dracula, so in that sense that's good. But still, like, you'd feel really bad if you do just one random day supply, and then this is actually newspaper reports, and you could have had it, you know, 3 days ago, for example. So I'm just going to quickly mute Discord, because that's going to be annoying if I keep pinging. Should do this before I start the game, but there you go. Right, back we go. Okay, we got a trade. Okay, so likely has actually started maybe where I thought. Maybe started in Valona, has gone to Athens, put a rumor token down in Athens, and is now moving up. 49.59, or maybe it's in Galatz, perhaps. Okay. Not sure why there's a misdirect here, unless maybe Dracula wants to go back onto that space. Wants to go back instead of moving forward, or just so that the hunters don't find it, because it might be a. Yeah. Okay, so it was a vampire maturing. Okay, so that was Bucharest. So when the hunters checked Bucharest, Drac wasn't there. It was on day 1, so Drac was somewhere else. Okay, Long Night's in play. Hunters may not actually use it in the end. It's a bit of a shame with Long Night. You have to say it during the day. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh dear. You have fast horses, and then you get a white one immediately. Or a non-yellow ticket, or 0 yellow ticket, or however I described it in my guide. Damn, that's painful. I feel... Oof. It's tricky. I feel you have to go to 38. I know it's not great because it's on a rail line. Oh, and that's a Dracula event. We'll probably just corrupt here. Probably won't use the ally. Yeah, given how long this has taken, I think this is a corrupt. Yeah. Yep. No ally, because good luck, just get rid of it. So basically that card, if you don't know, Dracula's Brides, shows the corrupt, so basically you put 2 more encounters on the trail. In the first, second or third space, you can put them wherever you like. Oh. Oh, this is rough. Because, yeah, that's the only problem with Long Night. You have no idea what you're giving Drac. And you never know, because those were discarded. That was a discarded Hunter event. It could be something really good. You don't know. That's the only problem. That's the thing I don't like about Long Night. And so Jack's now got 2 more things. In fact, they're being saved. Could be absolutely anything. It's not a Manuel because that's going to play immediately, but that could be Unearthly Swiftness, Darkness Returns, Summon Storms maybe, Wild Horses. Oh, or a roadblock. Yeah, can just stop more stuff from maturing and make it even more awkward for the hunters. She's gonna pin Godalming in, I guess. Because Godalming doesn't have horses anymore, so he's gonna have to go back to 11 to get on the rail line and then rail down. That doesn't count as an action, because I can still move. Ah, it was inside the A-bar. Interesting. Drac didn't want to wolf form up to 38. Okay, that's one of the encounters, because there's 2 encounters here to deal with, so that's the bodyguards. Okay, a knife. That's good. And a new vampire. Right. Okay, so Godalming... Yeah, Godalming doesn't have a stake, because one of his items was the 4 fast horses. I got discarded, so there's a knife plus something else. Very difficult to kill new vampires without a stake. You need to go. Have to take maybe 2 attempts to do it. Oh wow! Use Heavenly Host. Okay, did quite a lot of damage to that new vampire with that, but still, trying to get the remaining 2 damage could be tricky. I'll have to see, especially if especially if, it's not even if, Dracula knows that Godalming's only item card now is a knife. So it could just literally just prevent it being used. Assuming it has another strength or a mesmerize. If not, then it's more difficult. Ah, there you go, there's the mesmerize. And yeah, just locks the knife. And then if the Dracula player wants here, can just escape his mist. So there's no way to counter it. Yeah, that's the thing, you want to use those heavenly hosts on Drac, but then if there's a vampire that's going to be problematic to kill it, you might need to. Well, the good thing for the hunters, they've got time to deal with this. It's going to take a long time to mature, 4 days, so problem is Godalming is nowhere near a big city to supply. We haven't got horses, that's 2 turns to go there, 2 turns back, you can't, so Godalming's just going to have to sit there. And keep chipping away at it. Oh, okay, Drac could have been there, but okay, so Drac's in 50 or 55 then. Got 2 encounters here for me to deal with. We'll see if Rossco... No, Rossco doesn't want to trigger them. Okay. Why is it waiting for Rossco? I'm confused. Ah, for the roadblock. Yeah. They get removed at dusk. Yep. Right, is Mina going to search both of these at night? Oh no, there's a train ticket. Okay, so we know there's the new vampire in Sarajevo, but there must be another one now in the latest location. There's even more things for the hunters to deal with. Oh, this is very risky. Oh, okay. That could have been moving into Drac space. One of the hunters discarded. 1 stake. Okay. Yeah, hunters need 2 stakes here because I've got at least 2 vampires to worry about. Maybe another one thrown in here somewhere. Okay, search bow, great. Okay. Rats, and... okay, they're gone because of the pistol. And a saboteur. Okay. So, loses a night action, but... still... yeah, so in this situation, Dracula has quite a lot of control. Has 7 points already, which is a really nice thing to get early on. There are 2 vampires here that the hunter's going to have to deal with. They might have 2 stakes, but because they haven't got fast horses, it seems they're going to take a long time to move. If Dracula's sitting in Athens, is a pretty little risk of getting jumped on here by multiple hunters, unless like Van Helsing or Mina has a sense of emergency or something. So yeah, Dracula will go to sea eventually, but they'll know that the hunters are going to be stuck here dealing with. Even though there's not many things here to deal with, they're still really annoying things. If you haven't got stakes, vampires can be very troublesome. So Dracula can just go to sea safely, land, I don't know, southern Italy or Cagliari or something, lay stuff down, and then war form from the Mediterranean or something like that. Oh, okay. Gonna go straight onto Athens space. This is risky because there's a vampire there, plus there's something else which we have no idea what it is. I would have preferred to have done that if Godalming was there as well, even though Godalming only has a knife. But still, it would be a 2v1 in that situation rather than a 1v1 like this. Van Helsing's just taking the 2 damage ready from sense of emergency. This vampire might do even more. So yeah, good card, sense of emergency, but yeah, you got to be careful what you're jumping into. There might be a fog here as the second card, we're not sure yet, we'll have to wait until the combat ends to find out. Make sure that Van Helsing is going to be healthy enough for the night fight with Dracula. That's the issue, whereas now with only 4 health, that's in kill range for Drac, assuming there's no... assuming there's no great strength. And also the issue with this is, if the hunter reveals lots of weapons, then Dracula knows that the hunters have these weapons, so can't play claws now. Whereas the hunter, you can kind of bait Dracula into using claws, thinking it'll be a kill, but then you can counter it. Don't play. Oh wow, plays Heavenly Host. Well, Van Helsing was tooled up, wasn't he? So I mean, it's good in a sense because that's Reckless with a rumor token gone, so there's no chance of it maturing, but still, Van Helsing being really low health for the fight with Dracula is not ideal, and also we don't know what this other encounter is going to be. Oh, another one. It's another one. Another vampire. Right. How is Van Helsing going to get out of this one? With a lot of difficulty, unfortunately. Could get lucky and escape if there's no fangs or claws. But still. Okay, good dodge. But then the problem is now Van Helsing with two pistols, or no, two guns, a pistol and a rifle, has no sort of anti-fang ability. If you have garlic, you might be able to get away with it because you can alternate between garlic and dodge, assuming no plotting is played. Yeah, but Van Helsing might just die here before the battle with Drac. We'll see. If you escape now. Oh, well played, Van Helsing. Well done. Okay, depending if Van Helsing doesn't have escape routes, we would have seen it being able to trigger. I mean, Van Helsing might still die in this fight coming up, but you never know. So, I mean, yeah, positives for hunters, that's a rumor token they don't have to worry about anymore, but still. At what cost? If Van Helsing dies, that's still quite a lot of points to Dracula. Not as many, obviously. The important thing is, from Dracula's perspective, is Heavenly Host was used. Oh, wow. Well played. Stopping the mesmerize. Oof. I mean, Van Helsing might get out of this if bluffs Dracula to play something like a strength or plotting and then is able to escape. That'd be an amazing result for the hunters. Oh, good try. Maybe you play something. Oh, maybe if I dodge now, perhaps. Oh, I don't know. Okay. But now what? This is the problem. If Dracula has fangs, can just use fangs here. Actually, oh, I don't know how that works with fangs, because Van Helsing's mesmerized. Does the bite go through before Van Helsing takes damage, so won't die but takes a bite? Well, we'll find out. How does this work? Ah, right, interesting. Okay, so the way that works is the bite triggers before the 2 damage onto Van Helsing. So Van Helsing's not dead here. So, yeah, gave 2 points to, I gave a point to Dracula for that bite, but, and there's 1 point from the Reckless, but that was probably the best result that the Hunters could have asked for. So, no, I would have healed there, not supplied, because now then if you're on 3 health, it's far more difficult for Drac to kill you. Whereas Drac, if Drac wants to, could stay in place here with a Dark Claw or a Feed and try and kill Van Helsing with a day fight. Okay, not taking any risks, going to see. Yeah, from the hunter's perspective, that's probably the best result they could have got. Huh? Wait. Oh my, can Dracula really put something else on Athens? Put another vampire on Athens? Oh wow. Oh, oh wow, okay. Well, and the problem is, you're gonna have to search Athens to see if that's a vampire or not. But even if you do, and it's not a vampire, it's a bluff, you still have to fight the Reckless. Even if the hide card can't mature, doesn't matter. Oh wow. Hmm. Okay, new vampire sort of gains one health back from that. How's Seward doing for items? Wait, what? Combat hand size of 2, so only has basic cards, but Seward has items, surely. Is Seward literally got like 3 stakes and nothing else? This would be an escape, yeah. Yeah, it looks like Seward has no conventional weapons at all, which is a little bit problematic. Oh, has enraged. Ah. Ah, interesting that you'd play it now. I see why you wouldn't play it as Dracula, because then there's no possibility of escaping his bat. Still, like, it's very unlikely to kill Seward here. No, it's 2 extra damage. That's another night that Seward has to spend healing, I suppose. Okay, Seward has 4 items, but none of them are combat items. Fascinating. Seward like stuck with like holy bullets and a stake. Stakes and holy bullets. Possibly. Ooh, I don't know about that move. Like, I know Drac can go to Black Sea, but so what? If Drac goes to Black Sea, you'll be able to work it out eventually, and then you can just corner Drac again in the east. Yeah, there's a stake. Okay, that's that dead, but then you got Athens to worry about. There's also Valona, which goodness knows what that is. I mean, Van Helsing's also going to be supplying in Athens, so could pick up something. You got time to deal with Athens, that's the thing. Oh yeah, of course, I forgot that Rufus is in play. Hunters also have to be careful here, because if Valona is something like a fog, then they won't be able to get to Athens in time, so it'll be all on Van Helsing to try and kill this. I assume this is to get onto the rail line, but then... if you get a 2 yellow, yeah, it's equidistant, I suppose. Oh, not a fog then. I assume you would have ambushed. I can see why you want to heal, but unless Van Helsing's picked up a stake already. If you haven't picked up a stake with Van Helsing, then you just want to stay put. Unless a Sword's going to come in with another stake, which is very likely given the lack of combat items that we saw earlier. Oh, another Drac card. Unfortunately, so far it's not being anything that's been really. Oh, that's a little bit frustrating for the hunters. For them to have lost a stake on an aristocratic, unless Seward has another. Unless Seward is literally sitting there with triple stake. I wouldn't have used stake there. I would have used the stake on Athens. That's the one with the rumour token. That's the one that's more important to stop. If Seward had got delayed there, would have still made it to Athens in time to stake this other thing. I mean, it's possible that it isn't. Vampire could be something else, but meanwhile we do have to consider while all this is going on, Dracula could be as far west as like Cagliari or Genoa by now, and without really good movement from Mina and Kadami, it's going to take a long time to get over. Oh, crikey. Well, that's a powerful card, if I've ever seen one. So, it goes straight to Dusk. Oof. Oh. Oh, no Heavenly Host. Not sure why Consecrated Ground was put here. Because Drac couldn't have been there. I'd have held on to that. That's two. See, it doesn't take much. The hunters haven't been supplying that much. I can't remember exactly what the value was before everything got reshuffled with Darkness Returns, but that wasn't many supplies for the hunters. They had Consecrated Ground and Renewed Vigor, two of the most powerful cards in the game. I've seen other games in the competition where the hunters have been absolutely digging through the supply deck or the event deck, and they've been down to the last 10 cards and they still haven't got Consecrated Ground. It's just funny how it works sometimes. Okay, so Seward isn't staking Athens. Wait, that's the hide card? Oh. So maybe Van Helsing's realised that it's not. a bad thing on the other action. Hopefully realizes this, you don't have to kill this necessarily. I'll just escape here. It's just the hide card. It's not going to mature. Oh, okay, well played. Canceling the mesmerize. Now can escape. Unless it's a second mesmerize, won't be able to stop it. And the fact that Van Helsing has at least one weapon, if it's a non-vampire card, there's no card that can kill Van Helsing. So you can afford to take 2 damage here. Oh, well then. Okay, never mind. That vampire is dead, even though it's the hide card. It's just dead. So Van Helsing doesn't take damage. Let's see what this other thing is. Oh, it's just a bodyguards. Okay, so it's a complete ruse then. I could see why. I could see why you do as a ruse. Because then it makes the hunters worried to go and they have to search it at some point. So, I mean, well played then. If Suda does have another sig, well played for not going there. For realizing it was a bluff. There's a lot of vampires used already. 2 aristocratics. Should be 2. Oh yeah, 2 reckless, 2 aristocratics, and a new. There's only 1 reckless and 1 new vampire left available, and they could still be in the deck. There's a lot of vampires dealt with, but still, the hunters are quite far away from Dracula, unless Dracula's done something like onto 57 or 5. Then Dracula's not very far away from them. But if Dracula's like in 25 or 13. This would be the telltale sign. Ah, so it's not Cagliari then. Ah. My bet would be Genoa. And it's going along the coast into France and then down into Spain maybe. Yep, okay. $25 it is then. So probably Marseille now, and then Drac's got a few different options. Could wolf form from 36, could just keep going towards Spain, you know, go 54, 48, 34 kind of thing. And still one more card here that we don't know what it is. Okay. I mean, the Huns will probably realize at this point that is Genoa, but still. Just create that little bit of uncertainty. Why not? No wolf form. Well, given they don't have horses, yeah, this is the quickest way for Van Helsing to get to the west, going by sea. It'll take so many turns on land. Yeah. If you have fast horses and the economy's all set up, it's more or less the same going by land. It's very tricky being in this situation as the hunters because Dracula has a lot of points, it doesn't have to move much more to win. But when you got some hunters who are like really low, like Seward's only got 2 items, I would just say just stay in place for a couple of turns and just supply. You never know, you might get an event that helps you find Dracula. Oh, wait, where are you going? I think Gadami is going the wrong way. Huh? Oh, the hunters are scared there's gone Black Sea. Okay, in this situation, I'd say Gadami should check 36. Because Genoa is the misdirect location. Just check 36. And if it's not there, if you're really not sure, then you can check Milan on your way back the next day. Because Dracula could be as far as 48 by now. And you've moved to the wrong direction. I was like, Van Helsing's also moved back, so you've lost a turn going backwards, and if you then discover Dracula in Spain, it'll take another turn to get back. You're just losing lots of day actions this way. This is why, if you're not sure where Dracula is, then just stay put supply. Because you'll find things which are going to be useful, you'll find events which will be able to help you find Dracula. I'm probably just sending everybody back. Just send one hunter back to check it. It's far more likely that Dracula's gone west here. Now saying this, but Dracula now would have gone to the east. Did Mina move? Mina didn't move. I don't think she did. When you're in a situation where Dracula has like total control over the game, it makes the game much harder. As the hunter, you never want to be in a position where Dracula is just freely doing stuff. This is such a big risk, because imagine if you don't find Dracula here, and Dracula's all the way in 34, 31 by now. You can't stop him. Nah, see, yeah. Well, 17 would be the misdirect location. I think the misdirect threw off the hunters. All Gadami had to do was check 36. And if you're really uncertain about it, check 37. You check 36 and 37, they're the only places leading from Genoa. If this vampire is going to mature, Dracula could even just heal here to get back to 15 health to get the maximum possible victory. Ah, it's a mob in Belgrade. I know it's a very sort of almost like counterintuitive thing, but if you don't know where Drac is, just stay in supply. If there's a situation where you need to check locations, like for example, checking something like 36 or 37, then go for it. But otherwise, just stay in supply, you'll get things that help you. Hunter events are really powerful, and I think it's really important to understand how powerful those events are and how important it is to go and find them, and not being too eager to move. So it'll be interesting when the trail reveals, but my guess would be like Drac's in somewhere like Lisbon by now. Oh wait, what? Oh, the rumor token wasn't even a vampire, it was a bluff. Wow. I was sure you went to Italy. Yep. Yep, could have done. Genoa. But the misdirect Genoa, and then went to Marseille or Milan. Oh, it's unearthly swiftness. Wow. Well, that, I mean, I will be honest, that is, I don't know how many night supplies did the hunters do, but that's still pretty unfortunate to have gone Darkness Returns and unearthly swiftness. See, now see, those hide scouts. Those hide scouts at the top of the deck. Like, literally, like, a few days ago. Marseille's a lair. I've never seen that. I've never seen it. Where you pick a layer, and it actually comes up saying that Marseille's a lair. I didn't even know he would do that. Wow. It says all you had to do, you're in Genoa, even if you didn't want to check Marseille, just supply, you would have got those hide scouts and you would have got Marseille or wherever. Oh. Ah, the power of those hunter events. You get them at the right time. And all those turns, unfortunately, wasted going all the way backwards. I'm not saying the hunters would have won, but you know, they would have been able to track Dracula down to France or Spain. All they need is just one chartered carriage, and they can maybe get onto Drac and do damage. Before Drac goes to sea, there's Rufus Smith still in play. So even Dracula might have still won, but then the victory was a lot lower, because obviously the HP would have been lower for Drac. Okay, so no feed has just decided to get the win now. Ah, there's a vampire that matured. Oh, well, Drac could have healed to get an extra point, but never mind. Yep, also they went to 15, so ours got all the way 15, goodness knows where. 8, 47 Madrid, okay. And there you go. That's the game. In the end, a comfortable victory for Dracula. But you can see, like, it's something that can be really tricky, especially for newer players. And I must admit, when I started playing like the physical board game version, I probably would have done the same, you know. You can only move during the days of the hunters, so it seems intuitive. Oh, let's just move to find things. But the events are really powerful. So especially really early on, don't move unless it's necessary to. And yeah, there are times when Drax gone to sea, you need to have some urgency to get to where you need to, be. But at the same time, if there's a hunter really far behind who's not going to be able to catch up, just supply with them, because you'll get stuff which will be useful. You can trade things around and whatever. And then it's really tricky. I don't know. It looked like only 1 fast horses came out. So again, for the hunters, that's pretty unlucky that 2 of the fast horses were towards the bottom of the item deck. But still, you need to try and dig for them. Try to get your horse economy fixed so that you don't lose that horse to a white one. It requires management throughout the whole game. There's a lot of things. The hunters are really tricky. There's lots of things you've got to try and juggle and take into account. But once you get into that groove, then you can give Dracula a really competitive match. But without that movement and without getting good items and getting good events alongside that, even if you don't get the fast horses, okay, if you don't want fast horses, then that's okay, but still supplying, getting good items, getting good events can really help. And saving those really powerful events like a renewed vigor for when something, you know, for a really critical moment when you can jump onto Dracula's space with multiple hunters, or really stopping something really important from maturing. That's how you want to go about it. So there's some good stuff there from like hunters. They stopped. Well, they had the 2 aristocratics matured. Both of them matured because the hunters were too far away. But like the new vampire dealt with it with a good stake. Caught one in Valona as well, and then the fight with Dracula and the 2 Reckless in Athens, I could have seen that going really poorly for the hunters, but actually really best result, no stake. They killed the right vampire, the one that was on Athens. The hide one they escaped from, and then only got the bite from Dracula, so didn't actually kill Van Helsing. So Dracula didn't get as many points that way. And on another day, if Van Helsing was more tooled up with events and things, you'd have saved all of those events from being lost. So in that sense, that was a good result for the hunters, but still, you need to always be on it the entire game, otherwise Dracula can just mosey through Europe at their own will, and that's not what you want. Same as Dracula, right? If Dracula's playing against hunter players who are not really having to think about what they're doing, they're just clearing things up really, really quickly. You don't want that as Dracula either. It's very important, whichever side you're playing, you're trying to force the other player to make really tough decisions. As a Dracula player, for the hunters, you're trying to make them think, what do I prioritize? Trying to jump onto Dracula's space and try and see if Dracula's actually at this location, or do we go and deal with that rumor token that's over there? Or as the hunters, you're constantly having to try and force Dracula to make these tough decisions, like, can Dracula stay on land one more turn? Or do they have to go to sea now? Otherwise they could get jumped on 3v1 with forewarned and whatever. So it's always about, the more really tough decisions you can force your opponent into making, eventually they're going to make mistakes and they'll slip up, and that's when you can capitalize and take victory. So it's a steep learning curve to this game, but full credit to the players who have joined up for the league who are not, at least before the tournament started, they were not regular members. Hopefully after the tournament they're going to be, they'll continue playing in the community. But full credit to them, it's not easy. Especially playing against people like Rossco, who have been playing for a long time and they're very used to the game. So anyway, that's the end of that game. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed the little commentary I was giving throughout. And I'll see you in the next video very soon. Take care. Bye bye.